Welcome to the committee.
Oh, you got a thing up there you can see.
24. Would all members please vote? You can vote green. Might be the only time, but you can vote green. The clerk will lock the machine and take the count. There are 58 members present. We have a quorum. 59 members present. We have a quorum. We'll get to that. Announcements, introductions. We'll add those to them. Representative McEntee, Representative Beer in the affirmative. Anyone else? Representative McLaughlin. We'll get to the rest later. We'll move forward, please. The invocation today, all rise, to be delivered by Chairwoman Williams, who will also lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag. Chair Williams.
Thank you. Thank you. Dear Lord, Black History Month recognizes the need for all of us in this chamber and in the state of Rhode Island to better educate themselves and all of our children about the tremendous contribution of African Americans to this state and this country. For too long, their sacrifices have been ignored in our history. We must educate future and especially current generations of not only the horrific scar of slavery in America, but also of the great contributions African Americans have made in service to this country. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge
Of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, Chairwoman. Next order of business is approval of the journal. Is there any objection to the approval of the journal of the previous day? Hearing none, so ordered. Communications. The next order of business is communications. Clerk, do we have any communications?
Yes, we do.
Thank you. Please read.
Representative Alex Malzakowski is unable to attend session today, Thursday, February 4, 2021. Representative Steve Lima is unable to attend session today, Thursday, February 4, 2021.
Received and placed on file. Thank you. Next order of business is new business. Is there any new business? Thank you. Representative O'Brien with new business. Representative Potter with new business. Representative Casimiro with new business. Representative Kislak with new business. Chairman McNamara with new business. Representative Alzate with new business. Chairwoman Williams with new business. Chairwoman Vella Wilkinson with new business. Representative Amore with new business. Representative Carson with new business. Just be patient. Leader Filippi with lots of new business. There is a box in front. If you want to, you can put your bills in front in the box. Thank you. Beretta will be around. Just give you patience. Thank you. Any other new business? We can come back if there's any late arrivals. Thank you. Are there any announcements or introductions? I would go back to the clerk for some announcements, please.
Announcement by Speaker K. Joseph Sicarchi. Leadership. Representative Brian Patrick Kennedy, Speaker Pro Tempore. Representative Charlene Lima, Deputy Speaker. Representative John G. Edwards, Majority Floor Manager. Representative Deborah Falella, Senior Deputy Majority Leader. The following are Deputy Majority Leaders: Representative Greg Amore, Representative Jean-Philippe Barros, Representative Lauren Carson, Representative Julie Casimiro, Representative Arthur Corvese, Representative Susan Donovan, Representative Arthur Handy, Representative Jason Knight, Representative Alex Malzakowski, Representative Mary Messier, Representative William O'Brien, Representative Robert Phillips, Representative Scott Slater, Representative Carlos Tabone. On the Committee on Conduct, Representative Camille Velo-Wilkinson, Chair. Representative Thomas Norrie, First Vice Chair. Representative Deborah Falella, Second Vice Chair. Representative Marvin Abney, Representative Mia Ackerman, Representative Grace Diaz, Representative Joseph McNamara, Representative Patricia Serpa, Representative Michael Chippendale. Committee on Corporations, Representative Joseph Solomon Jr., Chair. Representative William O'Brien, First Vice Chair. Representative Justine Caldwell, Second Vice Chair. Representative Stephen Casey. Representative Bernard Hawkins. Representative Catherine Kazarian. Representative Brian Patrick Kennedy. Representative Charlene Lima. Representative Stephen Lima. Representative Brandon Potter. Representative Robert Phillips. Representative Patricia Serpa. Representative Mary Ann Shalcross Smith. Representative Michael Chippendale. Representative Barbara Ann Fenton Fung. For the Committee on Education, Representative Joseph McNamara, Chair. Representative Jean-Philippe Barros, First Vice Chair. Representative Greg Amore, Second Vice Chair. Representative Karen Elzate. Representative Nathan Biha. Representative Justine Caldwell. Representative Susan Donovan. Representative Joshua Giraldo. Representative Rebecca Kislak. Representative Thomas Norrie. Representative Robert Phillips. Representative Marsha Ranglin Vassal. Representative Mary Ann Shalcross Smith. Representative Barbara Ann Fenton Fung. Representative Sherry Roberts. The Committee on Environment and Natural Resources. Representative David Bennett, Chair. Representative Robert Phillips, First Vice Chair. Representative William O'Brien, Second Vice Chair. Representative Lauren Carson. Representative Terry Quatreman. Representative Kathleen Fogarty. Representative Arthur Handy. Representative Jason Knight. Representative Alex Malzakowski. Representative Carol Hagan McEntee. Representative James McLaughlin. Representative Marsha Ranglin Vassal. Representative June Speakman. Representative Marsha Ann Fenton Fung. Barbara Ann Fenton Fung. And Representative Patricia Morgan. The Committee on Finance, Representative Marvin Abney, Chair. Representative Scott Slater, First Vice Chair. Representative Alex Malzakowski, Second Vice Chair. Representative Greg Amore. Representative Jacqueline Baginski. Representative Jean-Philippe Barros. Representative Grace Diaz. Representative John Edwards. Representative Raymond Hull. Representative William O'Brien. Representative Deborah Ruggiero. Representative Carlos Tabone. Representative Camille Villa-Wilkinson. Representative George Nardone. Representative Robert Quattrochi. And the Finance Subcommittees are as follows. On Education is Representative Greg Amore, Chair. Representative Jean-Philippe Barros. Representative William O'Brien. Representative Carlos Tabone. Representative Camille Villa-Wilkinson. Representative George Nardone. On Human Services, Representative Alex Malzakowski, Chair. Representative Grace Diaz. Representative Deborah Ruggiero. Representative Scott Slater. Representative Carlos Tabone. Representative Robert Quattrochi. On Environment and Transportation is Representative Carlos Tabone, Chair. Representative John Edwards, Representative William O'Brien, Representative Scott Slater, Representative Camille Villa-Wilkinson, Representative Robert Quattrochi. On General Government, Representative Camille Villa-Wilkinson, Chair. Representative Greg Amore, Representative Jacqueline Baginski, Representative Alex Malzakowski, Representative Deborah Ruggiero, Representative George Nardone. On Public Safety, Representative Jean-Philippe Barros, Chair. Representative Jacqueline Baginski, Representative Grace Diaz, Representative Raymond Hull, Representative Carlos Tabone, Representative Robert Quattrochi. The Committee on Health and Human Services, Representative Stephen Casey, Chair. Representative James McLaughlin, First Vice Chair. Representative Susan Donovan, Second Vice Chair. Representative Mia Ackerman, Representative Samuel Azanaro, Representative David Bennett, Representative Nathan Biha, Representative Leanna Cassar, Representative Kathleen Fogarty, Representative Joshua Giraldo, Representative Arthur Handy, Representative Brandon Potter, Representative June Speakman, Representative Patricia Morgan, Representative Sherry Roberts. The Committee on Innovation, Internet, and Technology, Representative Deborah Ruggiero, Chair. Representative Arthur Handy, First Vice Chair. Representative Lauren Carson, Second Vice Chair. Representative Greg Amore, Representative Terry Cortfin, Representative Robert Craven Sr., Representative Brian Patrick Kennedy, Representative Charlene Lima, Representative Mary Messier, Representative David Morales, Representative Evan Shanley, Representative Teresa Tanzi, Representative Carlos Tabone, Representative Michael Chippendale, Representative David Place. Committee on Judiciary, Representative Robert Craven, Senior Chair. Representative Carol McEntee, First Vice Chair. Representative Jason Knight, Second Vice Chair. Representative Ethan Agello, Representative Jose Batista, Representative David Bennett, Representative Justine Caldwell, Representative Julie Casimiro, Representative Arthur Corvese, Representative Leona Felix, Representative John Lombardi, Representative Thomas Norrie, Representative Camille Vella Wilkinson, Representative David Place, Representative Sherry Roberts. The Committee on Labor, Representative Anastasia Williams, Chair. Representative Mary Messier, First Vice Chair. Representative Karen Elzalte, Second Vice Chair. Representative Stephen Casey. Representative Edward Cardillo. Representative Arthur Corvese. Representative John Edwards. Representative Deborah Filella. Representative Bernard Hawkins. Representative Brianna Henrys. Representative Catherine Kazarian. Representative Carol Hagan McEntee. Representative Joseph McNamara. Representative Patricia Morgan. Representative Brian Newberry. Committee on Municipal Government and Housing, Representative Raymond Hull, Chair. Representative Kathleen Fogarty, First Vice Chair. Representative June Speakman, Second Vice Chair. Representative Karen Elzate, Representative Jean-Philippe Barros, Representative Edward Cardillo, Representative John Edwards, Representative Catherine Kazarian, Representative Charlene Lima, Representative Stephen Lima, Representative David Morales, Representative Evan Shanley, Representative Anastasia Williams, Representative Patricia Morgan, Representative Justin Price. The Committee on Oversight, Representative Patricia Serpa, Chair. Representative Julie Casimiro, First Vice Chair. Representative Thomas Norrie, Second Vice Chair. Representative Edith Agello, Representative Jose Batista, Representative Lauren Carson, Representative Terry Cortven, Representative Susan Donovan, Representative John Edwards, Representative Deborah Filella, Representative Arthur Handy, Representative Bernard Hawkins, Representative Jason Knight, Representative Charlene Lima, Representative Mary Messier, Representative Scott Slater, Representative Joseph Solomon Jr., Representative June Speakman, Representative Anastasia Williams, Representative Michael Chippendale, Representative Brian Newberry, Representative David Price. David Place, sorry. Oversight Subcommittees. For Administrative Efficiency, Representative Jason Knight, Chair. Representative Charlene Lima, Representative June Speakman, Representative Brian Newberry, Representative Anastasia Williams. For Aging and Senior Services, Representative Susan Donovan, Chair. Representative Edith Agello, Representative John Edwards, Representative Scott Slater, Representative Michael Chippendale. For Children and Families, Representative Julie Casimiro, Chair. Representative Deborah Filella, Representative Mary Messier, Representative Thomas Norrie, Representative Michael Chippendale. For Energy, Representative Arthur Handy, Chair. Representative Jose Batista, Representative Terry Cortven, Representative June Speakman, Representative David Place. For Tourism, Arts, and Recreation, Representative Lauren Carson, Chair. Representative Terry Cortven, Representative Bernard Hawkins, Representative Joseph Solomon, Representative Brian Newberry. Committee on Small Business, Representative Carol Hagan McEntee, Chair. Representative Gregory Costantino, First Vice Chair. Representative Terry Cortven, Second Vice Chair. Representative Justine Caldwell, Representative Lauren Carson, Representative Leanna Cassar, Representative Julie Casimiro, Representative Grace Diaz, Representative Joshua Giraldo, Representative Ramon Perez, Representative Robert Phillips, Representative Marsha Ranglin Vassal, Representative Scott Slater, Representative Barbara Ann Fenton Fung, Representative Justin Price. Committee on Special Legislation. Representative Kathleen Fogarty, Chair. Representative Grace Diaz, First Vice Chair. Representative Bernard Hawkins, Second Vice Chair. Representative Karen Elzate. Representative Samuel Azanaro. Representative Stephen Casey. Representative Joshua Giraldo. Representative Brianna Henrys. Representative Catherine Kazarian. Representative Rebecca Kislak. Representative John Lombardi. Representative Ramon Perez. Representative Deborah Ruggiero. Representative Barbara Ann Fenton-Fong. Representative Justin Price. Committee on State Government and Elections. Representative Evan Chanley, Chair. Representative Mary Messier, First Vice Chair. Representative Arthur Corvese, Second Vice Chair. Representative Mia Ackerman. Representative Edith Jello. Representative Jacqueline Baginski. Representative Leona Felix. Representative Raymond Hull. Representative Brian Patrick Kennedy. Representative Jason Knight. Representative Michelle McGaw. Representative Mary Ann Shellcross Smith. Representative Teresa Tanzi, Representative Georgia Nadone, Representative Brian Newberry. The Committee on Veterans Affairs. Representative Samuel Azanaro, Chair. Representative Carlos Tabone, First Vice Chair. Representative James McLaughlin, Second Vice Chair. Representative Marvin Abney. Representative Mia Ackerman. Representative Stephen Casey. Representative Julie Casimiro. Representative Susan Donovan. Representative Deborah Falella. Representative John Lombardi. Representative Michelle McGaw. Representative Joseph Solomon Jr., Representative Camille Vella Wilkinson, Representative David Place, Representative Justin Price. Additional appointments. Representative Brian Patrick Kennedy, a member of the Permanent Joint Committee on State Lottery. Representative James McLaughlin, co-chair on the Joint Commission on Defense Economy Planning. And Representative June Speakman, a delegate for the New England Board of Higher Education.
Thank you. We're back on announcements. I'll just go by the lights. Representative Carson. Announcements and introductions. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Speaker. I kindly ask that the House adjourn today in honor of William Corcoran Sr. He is, for the lawyers in the room, they may know he was one of the founding partners of the law firm of Corcoran, Peckham, and Hayes in the city of Newport. He was a neighbor of mine, as a matter of fact, and he has been a pillar in the Newport community, being on the redevelopment agency. He was on the board of Bank Newport for 4 years. He was an active member at the Preservation Society for decades. He was a trustee for the John Clark Trust, and the list goes on and on. And he will be sorely missed in the city of Newport. So if this could be read at the Rise, I'd appreciate that.
Thank you. Please send it up. And Attorney Corcoran was a well-known and respected attorney in the legal field. He'll be sorely missed in the legal community as well. Thank you. Representative Morales. Thank you.
Mr. Speaker, with the permission of the Majority Leader and the Minority Leader, I have a resolution for immediate consideration. This House resolution would thank Providence Community Libraries for continuing to provide vital services to all our neighborhoods throughout the COVID-19 pandemic.
It's a good cause. Please send it up. Thank you. Chairwoman Williams.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. With the approval of both the minority and the majority leader, I would like to submit this House resolution proclaiming February 2021 as Black History Month in the state of Rhode Island.
Absolutely. Please send it up. Thank you, Chairwoman. Chairwoman McEntee.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I have a House resolution that's been approved by the Majority Leader and the Minority Leader expressing condolences on the passing of the Honorable Victor J. Beretta. If I may, I'd like to say a few words.
Proceed.
Victor Beretta was an Associate Justice of the Rhode Island District Court. He leaves behind him his loving wife, Dolores, They were married for 67 years. He has several children. Victor Beretta Jr. and his wife, Dana, live in my district in South Kingstown. Victor Beretta went to Providence College and then graduated from Brown University Law School. Upon passing the Rhode Island Bar, Justice Beretta served as a clerk of the Rhode Island Supreme Court and subsequently took a position as an associate with the Providence law firm of Arcaro, Belalove, and Colladani. I really messed up the last name. In 1972, he was sworn in as an Associate Justice of the Rhode Island District Court, a position he held for 25 years until his retirement. Justice Beretta possessed a brilliant mind and a fair and magnanimous spirit, and he will be profoundly missed by those who have had the good fortune to be part of his vital and fulfilling life. I ask that the members of the House sign this resolution and we send it off to his family. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Chairwoman. Chairman Hull.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The Committee on Housing, on Municipal Government and Housing will be meeting at the Rise in Room 35.
Thank you, Chairman.
We will be voting.
Thank you. Chairwoman Vella Wilkinson, please.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. With the permission of both leaders, I have two resolutions for immediate consideration. I would request that it be left for signatures of members of the House.
Proceed. What are the resolutions, please?
The first is a resolution proclaiming the week of February 1st through 5th, 2021, to be National School Counseling Week in the state of Rhode Island. And the next is a House resolution congratulating President Joseph Biden Jr. and Vice President Kamala Harris.
Thank you. Please send them up. Chairman Azanaro.
Thank you, Speaker. Request for adjournment.
Proceed.
A dear friend of mine, John D'Amato, well-known businessman in Connecticut and Rhode Island, passed away this past Monday due to the COVID pandemic that's happening. I believe he was 83 years old. Also, Gemma Bowerly passed away this past weekend. She was 104 years old, and she was the mother of attorney George Bowerly, who worked in Ledge Council with us last year. So respectfully request we adjourn in their memory. Thank you.
Thank you. Our condolences to both families. Thank you. Representative Kislak.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. With the permission of the majority and the minority leaders, I have a resolution for immediate consideration proclaiming February to be Children's Dental Health Month. The mouth is a part of the body, and now during COVID especially, it's important to remember that kids are, like all of us, having a harder time accessing oral health services, and so it's a great time to remember and recognize children's dental health.
Thank you. Please send it up. Chairman McNamara.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I have a request for immediate consideration.
Proceed.
Mr. Speaker and ladies and gentlemen of the House, with the agreement of both leaders, I would like to respectfully request that we pass this House resolution expressing condolences on the passing of William Dooley. And Mr. Speaker, if I could just say a few words. Bill Dooley was a lifelong resident of Gaspee Plateau, parishioner of St. Peter's, married to his late wife Pat for 63 years, a World War II vet, a retired New England telephone employee. But Mr. Speaker, most importantly for Warwick residents, he was the chairman of the Ward 1 committee in Warwick. And that was the one Republican committee that endured over many, many years. And Chairman Dooley taught young Democrats not only how to win, but how to lose gracefully and have fun and enjoy it. So for that, I will be eternally grateful for his spirit. It carries on today in Ward 1, and I would ask that we adjourn in his memory. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you. We certainly, if you're from Warwick, you knew who Chairman Dooley was. Please send it up. Leader Filippi.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. A resolution for immediate consideration with the permission of the Majority Leader and myself as Minority Leader.
Proceed, please.
I have a resolution congratulating Block Island Volunteer Fire and Rescue Department Fire Chief Kirk Littlefield on his retirement after 36 years of exemplary and honorable service. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Send it up, please. Thank you very much. Representative Baginski.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. With the permission of both Majority and Minority Leader, I have a resolution for immediate consideration proclaiming the week of January 31 through February 6 to be Physician Anesthesiologist Week in the state of Rhode Island.
Thank you. Please send it up. Representative Morgan. New business, we'll come right back to that as soon as we finish announcements and introductions. I'll call new business again. Representative Alzate.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Announcement, right? I just want to let everybody know, some of you knew that my honey was deployed in Kuwait for the past 6 months, and he came home to surprise us on Sunday. So really excited that he's finally home, no more waiting. So welcome back, we're happy you're home, nice and safe.
Congratulations to you and your family, and thank him for his service to our country. Thank you. Whip Kazarian.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I have a House resolution with the permission of both leaders extending the deepest condolences on the passing of Edmund D. Fuller. Many of us might know him as Ted. He was the original founder of Greg's. We have a Greg's restaurant in East Providence. It's one of my favorite places, and it has been for years. So we are extending our deepest condolences to him. He will be missed.
Thank you. Please send it up. He was an icon in not only as a restaurateur, but as the founder of Posy Touch, which is used throughout the country. He's a very talented individual. He'll be missed in the community.
That's right.
Please send that up. Leader Blazajewski.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Announcement, please.
Proceed.
First, the House will be meeting in session next Tuesday, February 9th, here at the Vets Auditorium at 4 p.m. On Monday, February 8th at 4 p.m., Speaker Shikarchi, Leader Filippi, and I will be participating in the Greater Providence Chamber of Commerce's annual legislative discussion, along with the Senate leadership, which this year will be held virtually. Many of you have requested the link, but if you have not done so, please contact Larry Berman. Additionally, we will have a committee hearing on Monday, February 8th after the Chamber event, so please check the legislative website tomorrow. Several committees will be posted for next week. I'd also like to add on Tuesday, please arrive at 4 as we've been starting on time because we'll be immediately going to a floor calendar on that day. There's some legislation that has to be moved from here and then up to the Senate at RIC. And so we will be starting with the floor calendar and may have a pause in the middle as legislation comes from the Senate relating to a bill for Exeter and West Greenwich. And finally, I know there's been some discussion about the deadlines for introductions. We are, of course, as usual, looking to extend those deadlines. No decisions have been made, but please continue to get in your legislation. But we are mindful of the fact that under these circumstances, extending the deadline may be necessary. So we're still working on that issue. And then finally, ladies and gentlemen, please wish our colleague, Rep. Carlos Tabone, a happy birthday. His birthday was yesterday, so happy birthday, Carlos. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much. Back on announcements, Chairman Azanaro.
Thank you, Speaker. I would be remiss if I didn't wish my daughter, number 2, a happy birthday, which will be this Sunday. And her name is Amy Beth Azanaro. She'll be 55 and tells me she'll be watching Super Bowl 55. So happy birthday, Amy Beth.
Happy birthday, Mary Beth. Thank you. Congratulations. While we're waiting for that to come up in the resolutions, I will go back to new business. Is there any other new business? Representative Knight with new business, Representative Morgan with new business, Representative Messier with new business, Chairman Craven with new business, Representative Price with new business, Representative Donovan, new business. Thank you. Representative McEntee, Chairwoman McEntee with new business. Representative McLaughlin, you have new business? New business? We'll come right back. Announcements for the last time, Representative McLaughlin.
Mr. Speaker, announcement, please.
Proceed.
I just want to give a shout out to all our pages that have served us in the last years. You know, they've been constrained, and just want to let them know that we're thinking about them, and we're looking forward to getting them back and getting things squared away. So,
thank you. So true and so much needed, and no one probably appreciates more that than Roberta. So thank you, Roberta, on behalf of the House, Roberta, for all you've done. Thank you very much. I have several requests for immediate consideration. I have a House resolution extending deepest condolences for the passing of Edmund Fuller, moved by Whip Kazarian, seconded by myself, Leader Blazajewski, Chairwoman Vela Wilkinson, Representative Amore, Representative Casimiro, Deputy Whip Ackerman, Chairman Solomon, Chairman Corvesi, Chairwoman Williams. All those in favor say aye. Any opposed? The act passes. Thank you. And all the resolutions will be read after session, and they'll be left on the desk for signatures in case anybody wants to sign. Every request from Representative Baginski, seconded by myself, Leader Blazajewski, Leader Filippi, and Chairman Bennett, proclaiming the week of January 31st to February 6th to be Physician Anesthesiologist Week in the state of Rhode Island. All those in favor say aye. Any opposed? The act passes. I have a House resolution for immediate consideration, presented by Chairwoman Wilkinson, seconded by Representative Norrie, Whip Kazarian, Deputy Whip Ackerman, Chairman Azanaro, Representative Bezeginski, myself, Leader Blazajewski, and Chairman Shanley. This was proclaiming the week of February 1st to the 5th, 2021 to be National School Counseling Week in the state of Rhode Island. All those in favor, please say aye. Any opposed? The ayes have it. I have a House resolution by Leader Filippi seconded by Leader Blazajewski, congratulating the Block Island Volunteer Fire and Rescue Department Fire Chief Kirk Littlefield on his retirement after 36 years of exemplary service to the citizens of Block Island. All those in favor, please say aye. Any opposed? The ayes have it. Thank you. I have a House resolution expressing condolences on the passing of William Dooley, presented by Chairman McNamara, seconded by Chairman Bennett, Leader Blazajewski, Leader Filippi, and myself. All those in favor say aye. Any opposed? The ayes have it. I have a House resolution proclaiming the week of February 2021 to be, proclaiming the month of February to be 2021 to be Children's Dental Health Month, presented by Representative Kislak, seconded by Representative Potter, Representative McGraw, Representative Morales, Chairwoman Williams, Representative Donovan, Chairwoman Fogarty, Chairwoman McEntee, Representative Kazar, Representative Felix. All those in favor say aye. All those opposed, the ayes have it. I have a House resolution congratulating President Joseph Biden Jr. and Vice President Kamala Harris, moved by Chairwoman Wilkinson, seconded by Chairwoman Williams, Representative Norray, Representative Kazarian, Whip Kazarian, Deputy Whip Ackerman, Chairman Azanaro, Chairwoman Ruggiero, Chairman Shanley, Representative Baginski, Leader Blazajewski, and myself, and Chairwoman Fogarty, Chairwoman Hull, Chairman Abney, Representative Chippendale, thank you, Mike. Representative Falella, Representative Potter, Representative Baginski, and Representative Cortravan, Representative Bennett, Representative Knight, I think Deputy Speaker Lima. All those in favor say aye. The act passes, and that will be left on the desk for signatures, as all of them will be. And we continue. I have a House resolution expressing condolences on the passing of the Honorable Victor Beretta, moved by myself, Leader Blazajewski, Chairman Craven, Representative Lombardi, Leader Filippi, Chairwoman McEntee, and several others. All those in favor, please say aye. Any opposed? The act passes. I have a House resolution proclaiming February as Black History Month in the state of Rhode Island, moved by Chairwoman Williams, seconded by Chairman Hull, Representative Bayer, Representative Giraldo, Chairman Abney, Representative Henrys, Representative Barrows, Representative Alzate, Representative Batista, Representative Felix, and several others. All those in favor, please say aye. Any opposed? The act passes. I have a House resolution extending the deepest condolences on the passing of William Walsh Corcoran, presented by Representative Carson, Representative Abney, and myself. All those in favor, please say aye. Any opposed? The act passes. I have a resolution thanking the Providence Community Libraries for their dedication to providing vital community services throughout the pandemic. It is moved by Representative Morales, seconded by Leader Blazajewski, Representative Kislak, Chairwoman Williams, Representative Agello, Leader Filippi, and Representative Lombardi. All those in favor, please say aye. Any opposed? The resolution passes. I have a House resolution for extending congratulations, moved by Leader Blazajewski, seconded by Leader Filippi. All those in favor, please say aye. Any opposed? The act passes. I have an act extending condolences on behalf of Leader Blazajewski, seconded by Leader Filippi. All those in favor, please say aye. Any opposed? The act passes. And we're done for those. Any other announcements or introductions? Any other new business? Representative Phillips.
Announcement, Mr. Speaker.
Proceed.
The Committee on Environment and Natural Resources will be meeting at 6 o'clock in room 35. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you. Seeing no other announcements, is there any objection to transmitting all matters on the clerk's desk to Her Honorable Governor, Her Excellency, and the Honorable Senate or the Secretary of State forthwith? None. Leader Malzakowski moves that the House adjourn in memory of William Dooley, Jorge Borra, Abe Hernandez, John D'Amato, William Corcoran, the Honorable Victor Beretta, and Ted Fuller. Please rise for a moment of silence. The House is adjourned. Thank you.
Desk is open.
As always, the desk remains open. That was quite a lineup.
Thank you.
House Resolution proclaiming February of 2021 as Black History Month in the state of Rhode Island. Whereas throughout the history of America, truly significant African American contributions to the economy, social growth, sciences, and arts in this great nation have all too often been ignored. In recognition of this plethora of major accomplishments made by men and women of African ancestry, the month of February is celebrated as Black History Month across the nation. And whereas African Americans were first brought to America forcibly, they were enslaved, faced inhumane cruelty, and were subjected to injustices beyond understanding. Families were torn apart, lynching went unpunished, and segregation and denial of fundamental constitutional rights and protections went on for decades. And whereas, though these men and women suffered immense tragedies and social inequalities, they also persevered, and their triumphs and contributions to the economic, artistic, literary, scientific, and technological advancement of our country are significant and momentous. And whereas African Americans have been an integral part of Rhode Island's social, political, and economic development from its beginning as a British colony to its inclusion in the formation of the United States to the rich diversity of today's ocean state. And whereas from the initial shots fired in the struggle for American independence to Rhode Island's first Black Regiment's Battle of Newport to the garrisons of the Rhode Island's 14th Colored Heavy Artillery Regiment in 1863, Americans of African descent have responded to the call of duty. And whereas, in recognition of the numerous positive and patriotic contributions of African American Rhode Islanders in the United States military, we honor their legacies of the bravery, honor, and sacrifice. From the earliest recordation of Black history in our state, including those of slaves, former slaves, and free men, African Americans have served with pride to protect our vital interests and provide for our common defense. And whereas structures in the city of Newport, such as the Brick Market, later used as the Town Hall and Theater, the Old Colony House, which at one time served Rhode Island as its capital, and the oldest library in America, the Redwood Library, stand as lasting and beautiful tributes to the African Americans who served in our state and played a major role in the construction of these magnificent historic structures. And whereas the United States, and particularly the state of Rhode Island, owe a debt of gratitude to our African American citizens and their forefathers, whose documented achievements have too long gone unrecognized. And whereas the theme for this year's celebration of Black History Month is the Black family, representation, identity, and diversity. The contributions made by Black families throughout our nation's history, both locally and nationally, will be explored in forums and classrooms, and people will be encouraged to share their personal stories about the importance of the Black family in their lives and to the benefit of the wider community. Now, therefore, be it resolved that this House of Representatives of the State of Rhode Island hereby proudly proclaims February as Black History Month and furthermore recognizes and applauds the sacrifices and myriad of contributions made by African American men and women throughout this great nation's history, and be it further resolved that the Secretary of State be and hereby is authorized and directed to transmit a duly certified copy of this resolution to the Rhode Island Black Heritage Society. House Resolution proclaiming February of 2021 to be Children's Dental Health Month. Whereas February is Children's Dental Health Month and provides an opportunity to recognize that a child's health and well-being are essential to the quality of life, a healthy mouth is essential for self-esteem, success in school, and is a vital component for overall health, which are meant to last a lifetime. And whereas good dental habits are learned at an early age, reinforced by examples set by parents, caregivers, older siblings, and in collaboration with dental health care providers. And whereas a child's teeth help with digestion, formulating speech patterns, maintain space for the adult teeth during the growth of the child through puberty, and with proper care, nutritional guidance, and regular dental visits will increase a child's chances of maintaining their teeth throughout their lifetime. And whereas childhood cavities remain the most prevalent chronic curable disease of childhood, and some 100 million Americans fail to visit their dental office. And whereas members of the dental community and the community organizations devoted to increasing access to care are dedicated to caring for the dental health needs of Rhode Island's most vulnerable population, and provides access for children who otherwise may not receive basic and preventative care. Whereas the future is, to a large measure, dependent on educating our youth on the importance of developing and maintaining smart dental habits and good dietary choices throughout their lives, and by observing these measures, their teeth can remain healthy and strong into adulthood. Now, therefore, be it resolved that this House of Representatives of the State of Rhode Island hereby recognizes the vital and often unrecognized benefits of child's ability to access dental health educational programs and receive dental treatment and promoting health for children and families, and urges all citizens and community organizations to recognize the observance of February as National Children's Dental Health Month in the State of Rhode Island. And be it further resolved that the Secretary of State being hereby is authorized and directed to transmit certified copies to Director Nicole Alexander Scott, the Rhode Island Department of Health, and Marie Jones Bridges, Enterprise Clinical Service Community-Based Coordinator, and Rhode Island Bright Smiles Dental. That's going to go to Stacy.
To Stacy, okay. Did she forget about that?
She's right there.
Okay.
House Resolution thanking Providence Community Libraries for their dedication to providing vital community services throughout the COVID-19 pandemic. Whereas literary skills are essential for effective participation in our democracy in the workplace and in the community. Lady Bird Johnson once said, "Perhaps no place is any community is so totally democratic as the town library. The only entrance requirement is interest." And whereas Providence Community Library was founded in 2009 and currently encompasses locations in 9 neighborhoods within the city of Providence, as well as the big red bus that travels to various schools in the city. And whereas, serving a culturally rich and diverse population, Providence Community Library has adapted to their patrons' evolving reading and information needs with a diverse staff that delivers relevant library resources and programs, cultivates meaningful partnerships and promotes vibrant neighborhoods. And whereas, since the start of COVID-19 pandemic, Providence Community Library has adopted creative strategies to support the Providence community through daily virtual programming, free audiobook subscriptions, takeaway activity bags for youth, curbside book pickups, printing services, and limited indoor browsing. And whereas, in addition, with the exception of Knight Memorial Library, which is being renovated, the Providence Community Library locations have maintained regular scheduled hours for essential services, including COVID-19 testing at Smith Hill Library. And whereas, despite the uncertainty around COVID-19 guidelines and the source of funding, Providence community libraries and staff members have persevered through these challenges in order to support the communities they serve. Now, therefore, be it resolved that this House of Representatives of the State of Rhode Island hereby thanks the administration and staff at Providence Community Library for their dedication to providing vital community services through COVID-19 pandemic. And be it further resolved that the Secretary of State being hereby is authorized and directed to transmit a duly certified copy of this resolution to Cheryl Space, Library Director, Providence Community Library. House Resolution extending deepest condolences on the passing of William Walsh Corcoran. Whereas it is with sadness that this House has learned of the passing of William Walsh Corcoran, the beloved husband of the late Mary Corcoran, the devoted father and father-in-law of Mary Ellen Corcoran, William and Karen Corcoran, Andrew Corcoran, Marty Corcoran, and Paul Lays, Frank Corcoran, Jane Corcoran, and Tony Leach, Dave Galvin, and the late Ann Corcoran Galvin. He was the proud grandfather of 14 grandchildren. And whereas William Corcoran, affectionately known as Bill to his many friends and Pop to his loving family, was a lifelong resident of the city of Newport. He was the brother of Michael Corcoran, Edward Corcoran Sr., Ann Corcoran, and the late Reverend Corcoran. He graduated from Rogers High School in the Portsmouth Priory and earned his bachelor's degree from Brown University and his Juris Doctor from Boston College Law School. And whereas Mr. Corcoran served our country as a deep-sea diver in the United States Navy, where he specialized in submarine rescue. Upon completing his service, he began a long and successful career as an attorney and senior counsel at Corcoran, Peckham, Hayes, Lays, and Oleaniak, P.C. And whereas in 1966, Mr. Corcoran was elected to the Newport City Council, serving from 1967 until 1971. He was also a member of the Redevelopment Agency of Newport, where his efforts and vision helped to transform the City by the Sea's waterfront from an industrial center to a renowned scenic harbor and successful shopping district. And whereas a staunch advocate for historical preservation, Mr. Corcoran lent his legal expertise to the Newport Preservation Society, brokering the purchase of some of the Society's most significant properties. He remained an active member of the Preservation Society for decades. He was also a trustee for the John Clark Trust for more than 4 decades, a member of the Thompson Scholarship Committee, the Council for the Visiting Nurse Service for many decades, and a member of the Board of Directors of Bank Newport for more than 4 decades. And whereas Bill Corcoran was a beloved family man, a friend to many, and a dedicated and altruistic member of his community who opened his heart to all and lily pond to anyone who loved fishing and ice skating, he will be dearly missed and always remembered. Now, therefore, be it resolved that this House of Representatives of the State of Rhode Island hereby extends deepest condolences to the Corcoran family on the passing of William Walsh Corcoran, and it be further resolved that the Secretary of State, being hereby is authorized and directed to transmit duly certified copies of this resolution to Mary Ellen Corcoran, William Corcoran, Andrew Corcoran, Marty Corcoran, Frank Corcoran, and Jane Corcoran. Stacy. House Resolution express condolences on the passing of William Dooley. Whereas William Dooley of Warwick passed away on January 31st, 2021, he was the devoted husband of the late Patricia Dooley, to whom he was married for 62 years. And whereas Mr. Dooley was born in Cranston, a son of the late Leo and Marion Dooley, he served our nation with honor and valor during World War II as a member of the United States Army's 88th Division Blue Devils. And whereas Mr. Dooley was a hardworking family man who strived daily to provide for his family, he was employed by New England Telephone Company for 38 years before retiring. Whereas Mr. Dooley was very active in civic affairs, he served on the Warwick Board of Canvassers, the Warwick Housing Authority, and was the former chairman of the Ward 1 Democratic Committee. And whereas Mr. Dooley was a passionate fan of the Boston Red Sox with an amazing ability to recall specific games, players, and statistics from the past, he was a communicant of St. Peter Church for over 50 years and a faithful Catholic his entire life. And whereas Mr. Dooley is survived by his daughters, Patrice Concannon and her husband, John, and Kathleen McCombs, sons James Dooley and Brian Dooley, and his wife, Gina. He was the brother of Leo Dooley and Kenneth Dooley. He was also the father of the late William Dooley, brother of the late Eileen Drotsty, John Red Dooley, Margaret Malone, Lawrence Dooley, and Paul Dooley. He leaves behind 6 grandchildren: Evan Hudson, Allison Hudson, Kelly Dooley, Jenna Dooley, Kayla McCombs, and Benjamin McCombs, 5 great-grandchildren, and many nieces and nephews. Now, therefore, be it resolved that this House of Representatives of the State of Rhode Island hereby expresses its deepest condolences to the Dooley family on the passing of William Dooley, and be it further resolved that the Secretary of State be and hereby is authorized and directed to transmit duly certified copies of this resolution to Patrice Concannon, Kathleen McCombs, James Dooley, and Brian Dooley. House Resolution congratulating Block Island Volunteer Fire and Rescue Department Fire Chief Kirk Littlefield on his retirement after 36 years of exemplary and honorable service. Whereas Block Island Fire Chief Kirk Littlefield grew up in a public service family, the son of parents who both served on the rescue squad and had attained the rank of captain. It was therefore perhaps inevitable that Chief Littlefield would himself serve with the Block Island Fire Department and devote his life and service to the protection of life and property within the community. And whereas Chief Littlefield began his service with the Block Island Fire Department at the young age of 16, and in his distinguished 36-year public service career, served as the department's fire chief 3 times, first from 1999 to 2001, then once again from 2008 to 2011, and finally in 2020. And whereas, through the years, Chief Littlefield worked hard to keep his volunteer members informed and involved in all aspects of the department, he also made sure that all of the equipment and vehicles were always in perfect working order, and fought tirelessly in support of obtaining new ladder truck and new fire department building as quickly as possible. And whereas Chief Littlefield will continue to be involved with the Block Island Fire Department after he retires as its chief. He will serve on the department's board of directors and will continue to answer rescue calls because he is an invaluable asset to the department due to his vast knowledge of where all the roads, houses, and other structures are located within Block Island. Therefore, be it resolved that this House of Representatives of the State of Rhode Island hereby thanks Block Island Volunteer Fire Rescue Department Chief Kirk Littlefield for his 36 years of meritorious service to the Block Island community. We furthermore wish him continued success in all his future endeavors, and be it further resolved that the Secretary of State being hereby is authorized and directed to transmit a duly certified copy of this resolution to Fire Chief Kirk Littlefield of the Block Island Volunteer Fire Rescue Department. House Resolution proclaiming the week of January 31st through February 6, 2021 to be Physician Anesthesiologists Week in the state of Rhode Island. Whereas physician anesthesiologists are guardians of patient safety and health care in the operating room, in the delivery room, and intensive care unit, in pain management, and on the front lines of the COVID-19 pandemic. And whereas years of education and training prepare physician anesthesiologists to navigate those life and death moments, transitioning from the operating room to the emergency room and acting as airway management experts for the sickest of patients diagnosed with COVID-19. And whereas physician anesthesiologists were made for this moment, playing a critical role in keeping patients safe in our state and communities, whether caring for COVID-19 patients, managing a crisis during surgery or labor and delivery, or providing pain management. And whereas physician anesthesiologists are recognized leaders who are committed to high quality and safe patient care, educating patients on anesthesia safety and reducing risk of complications before, during, and after surgery. Now, therefore be it resolved that this House of Representatives of the State of Rhode Island hereby proclaims the week of January 31st to February 6, 2021 to be Physician Anesthesiologist Week in the state, and moreover urges all the citizens of Rhode Island to join us in recognizing physician anesthesiologists who have served as critical care specialists during the pandemic and developed the techniques and protocols that have greatly improved the safety of anesthesia and the well-being of surgical patients and chronic pain patients each day. And be it further resolved that the Secretary of State being hereby is authorized and directed to transmit a duly certified copy of this resolution to the Rhode Island Society of Anesthesiologists. House Resolution proclaiming the week of February 1st to the 5th, 2021 to be National School Counseling Week in the state of Rhode Island. Whereas school counselors across the United States in both public and private schools work tirelessly to help students reach their full potential. And whereas in consultation with parents and teachers, school counselors work with students and assist them as they explore their strengths and weaknesses, their talents, ideas, values, and interests, and as they chart a path towards a successful and prosperous future. And whereas school counselors also identify and seek out school and community resources that will assist students in their endeavor to discover who they are and who they desire to become as adults. And whereas a 2013 study by the College Board calculated that adding just one counselor to a high school staff produces a 10% increase in the school's college enrollment numbers. A report by the National Association of College Admission Counseling determined that meeting one-on-one with a counselor to discuss financial aid for college tripled a student's chances of attending college and made it significantly more likely that they would actually apply for financial aid. Now, therefore, be it resolved that this House of Representatives of the State of Rhode Island, Providence Plantations, hereby proclaims the week of February 1st to the 5th, 2021 to be National School Counseling Week in the state of Rhode Island. And be it further resolved that the Secretary of State being hereby is authorized and directed to transmit a duly certified copy of this resolution to Ms. Jill Cook, Executive Director, CAE, American School of Counseling Association. House Resolution expressing deepest condolences on the passing of Edmund D. Fuller. Whereas it is with deep sadness that this House of Representatives has learned of the passing of Edmund D. Fuller on Sunday, January 24, 2021. Better known as Ted by his family and many friends, he leaves behind his beloved wife, Christine Fuller, and a legacy of community that continues to this day. And whereas Ted was a giant in the Rhode Island hospitality community, with his influence helping to shape one of the state's largest industries. And whereas in 1972, Ted purchased Greg's Restaurant and Taverns, transforming what was a small local eatery into a Rhode Island institution. Under his guidance, the restaurant expanded from its initial Warwick location to additional restaurants in Providence, East Providence, and North Kingstown. And whereas, in an effort to give back to the community, Ted developed the Greg's Giving Tree, a holiday tradition that donates Christmas gifts to children, seniors, and other Rhode Islanders in need. And whereas in August of 1996, Greg's kicked off a unique community partnership with Hasbro Children's Hospital. The partnership was formed around a luscious 4-layer chocolate peanut butter cake created by Greg's master bakers, specifically to benefit the Children's Hospital. Greg's appropriately named the new specialty dessert the Giving Cake. Each time a whole Giving Cake is purchased, $2 of the purchase price is donated to the Children's Hospital, and each slice purchased provides a 25-cent donation. Since its inception, Greg's has donated more than $130,000 through this program. And whereas in 1985, frustrated by a lack in technology, Ted and his brother Bill created the first of its kind point-of-sale system featuring a touchscreen. Today, POS Touch is an internationally renowned company leading the field in restaurant technology innovation. And whereas a central component of Ted's vision was to create a culture of community for the hospitality industry in Rhode Island. In 1988, Ted, along with the late William DeAngelis of Twin Oaks Restaurant and Ned Grace, the founder of Capitol Grill and Hemingway's, reestablished the Rhode Island Hospitality Association, which has served as the voice of the hospitality industry in Rhode Island for the past 32 years. To this day, RAAH uses Ted's culture of community as one of its guiding principles. And whereas well respected within the hospitality community, in 2003, Ted received an honorary doctorate from Johnson & Wales University in recognition of his influence in the industry. And whereas Greg's prominence in the Rhode Island restaurant scene was a great source of pride and satisfaction for Ted, his stewardship and guidance were important to so many that worked with him over the years. Even after his retirement in 2008, his influence has continued to be an important part of the company's success. And whereas Ted Fuller will be fondly remembered by the many members of his Greg's family, his friends in the Rhode Island Hospitality Association, and the many restaurants that have benefited from his influence. In the words of his longtime friend, Dale J. Venturini, he was one of these people that was just ageless, and I think that was all just because of his heart and soul of embracing and giving everybody some part of him. Now, therefore, be it resolved that this House of Representatives of the State of Rhode Island hereby extends its sincere condolences on the passing of Edmund D. Fuller, and be it further resolved that the Secretary of State be and hereby is authorized and directed to transmit duly certified copies of this resolution to Mrs. Christine Fuller and Mr. Dale J. Venturini. House Resolution expressing condolences on the passing of the Honorable Victor J. Beretta. Whereas it is with utmost sadness that this House has learned of the passing of the Honorable Victor J. Beretta, a highly respected retired Associate Justice of the Rhode Island District Court, the loving husband of Dolores for 67 years, and the devoted father of Lisanne and her husband Hans Christian Ritter, Victor Beretta Jr. and his wife Dania, Lily Fontana, Maria Beretta, Melissa and Jean Lebrec, and Melinda and her husband Bruce Namanson. He was also the very proud grandfather of Gianna and her husband Isaac, Zach, Michael and his wife Emily, Gabriel, Max, Jacob, Hannah and her husband John, Noble and Juliet, and one great-grandson, Caden. And whereas born in Providence, Victor Beretta was the son of Victor and Chiara Beretta and the brother of Aldo Beretta and his wife Elaine, and Raymond Beretta and his wife Joan. He attended Windmill Street Elementary, Samuel Slater Junior High School, and Pawtucket West Senior High School, and earned his bachelor's degree from Providence College and his Juris Doctorate from Boston University Law School. He served our country with honor and as an administrative specialist in the United States Army. And whereas upon passing the Rhode Island Bar, Justice Beretta served as a clerk for the Rhode Island Supreme Court and subsequently took a position as an associate with the Providence law firm of Arcaro, Bella Love, and Kolodny. In 1966, he was appointed city solicitor for the city of Pawtucket, and in 1972 was sworn in as the Associate Justice of the Rhode Island District Court, a position he held for 25 years until his retirement. And whereas Justice Beretta amassed numerous professional distinctions and served on myriad professional and altruistic boards, including the Equitable Credit Union of Pawtucket, the Parish Council of St. Maria Goretti Church, the Fox Hill Lane Association of Franconia in New Hampshire, and the North Farmer Homeowners Association of Bristol, the Windsor Board of Directors of Naples, Florida, Rhode Island State Chairman of the National Institute of Municipal Law Officers, and he was a member of the Knights of Columbus. And whereas, in his leisure time, Justice Beretta was an avid tennis player, skier, golfer, and boater. He also enjoyed spending time in the White Mountains, vacationing and skiing with his wife, children, and grandchildren. And whereas Justice Beretta possessed a brilliant mind and a fair and magnanimous spirit, and he will be profoundly missed by those who had the good fortune to be part of his vital and fulfilling life. Now, therefore, be it resolved that this House of Representatives of the State of Rhode Island hereby expresses its deepest sympathies on the passing of the Honorable Victor J. Beretta, Jr. He will forever be remembered by the entire membership and the citizens of this state as a highly respected and admired judge who presided with fairness and justice over the matters before the Rhode Island District Court. And be it further resolved that the Secretary of State be and hereby is authorized and directed to transmit a duly certified copy of this resolution to Mrs. Dolores Beretta and family. House Resolution congratulating President Joseph Biden Jr. and Vice President Kamala Harris. Whereas President Joseph Jr., a man of great experience and common man instincts, took the oath of office on January 20th, 2021, and became the 46th President of the United States, his most powerful and important position of responsibility on the globe. Hopefully, in these days of great turmoil and fear, he and Vice President Harris can unify the nation as together we fight and defeat a devastating pandemic, restore comity and democratic norms within our nation, and bring peace and stability to a world on the edge. And whereas President Biden was born on November 20th, 1942, to a working-class family in Scranton, Pennsylvania, growing up, President Biden's family experienced economic misfortune, and he was witness to the economic decline suffered by Scranton and many other similar cities. Throughout his life, this experience gave him great empathy for the working people of America who toil and struggle every day to find good jobs and provide for their families. And whereas President Biden has had a long career of distinguished public service that will serve him well in his duties as president. He served in the United States Senate from 1973 to 2009, where he was a highly respected leader who held a variety of important positions, including chair of the Senate Judiciary Committee and the chair of Foreign Relations Committee. Most importantly, he served as the 47th Vice President of the United States under President Barack Obama. His vast knowledge of world affairs and his deep understanding of how the United States Congress operates proved to be an invaluable asset to President Obama and will serve him and our nation well as he assumes the duties of presidency. Whereas President Biden will be ably assisted by Vice President Kamala Harris and the first woman African American and Asian American Vice President of the United States. Vice President Harris is a person of great accomplishment. She served as the District Attorney of San Francisco, as the Attorney General of California, and as a United States Senator from California, and ran an inspired campaign for President of the United States. Throughout her distinguished public service career, she had fought tirelessly on behalf of consumer rights, equality for all Americans, public safety and criminal justice reform, and against corruption in government. And whereas Vice President Harris was born in Oakland, California, to Shyamala Gopalan, a biologist from Tamil Nadu, India, who did groundbreaking research on the progesterone receptor gene, which stimulated important advances in breast cancer research. And to Donald J. Harris, a Stanford University professor emeritus of economics, who came to the United States from Jamaica in 1961. Vice President Kamala Harris and her family are great examples of how diversity strengthens our nation and makes it more vibrant, both economically and civilly. Her bold vision about the future of America will be a great asset for President Biden and the future of our nation. Now, therefore, be it resolved that this House of Representatives of the State of Rhode Island hereby wishes President Joseph Biden Jr. and Vice President Kamala Harris the very best as they lead our nation for the next 4 years. We hope they can steer our nation safely out of this devastating pandemic, restore our economy and economic opportunity for the people and businesses that have suffered so much over the last year, bring security and peace to our nation and the globe, and return civility and democratic norms to our nation. And be it further resolved that the Secretary of State be and hereby is authorized and directed to transmit duly certified copies of this resolution to the Honorable Joseph Biden Jr., President of the United States, and the Honorable Kamala Harris, Vice President of the United States.